What's up? So this video gonna be about Linda Fairstein in New York, the former prosecutor, who was so happy gung ho to prosecute falsely accused the five black boys back in Central Park back in '89. Well, now Carmody came back and bit her in the behind, cause now she getting stripped of certain privileges that she had, and then it comes out that she was quick to judgment. And now you ask yourself, are you ever shocked or surprised? I'm gonna tell you something. 10 times out of 9, when somebody white that's a prosecutor or something goes after somebody black, especially when it's racially based charge and it has some inconsistencies and incoherent, there's going to be some racial agenda. It just can't help it. And so she just was one that was going for it. She was like, I'm going to go after him. And then Netflix just put out a documentary about it. But see, I'm going to tell you something. Unlike some other documentaries that are done to like try to act like they're throwing some light on something. This one shows a rush to judgment where there's no debating it because it came out in the wash, and that it was really a heinous, false entrapment of five African American men who, his boys at the time, were coerced into just saying whatever to the detectives because a lot of times in these precincts across the country, especially if you're African American, a cops will sit there and lie and scare you and use double talk tactics to get you. And then the prosecutor is sitting up against you. See, if people really want the truth, they'll listen to this because I'm going to tell you the truth. It hasn't changed with the racist mindset. And so when someone is so quick to judge you based on appearance sake and to go after you, then this is what happens. So it constitutes to this situation. So then this is where it rolls into the way you submit and say yes, I what have you, and they lie to you because A, you don't have no money, B, you don't have the right complexion for the protection, what brother Paul Mooney would say, to get through the circulation of the election, and C, they figured they rather make you a statistic. So lo and behold, that this happens to come back upon them and bite her in the behind because 30 years later these men did time for stuff that they couldn't have possibly have done, and there was no proof. However, when you have overzealous racist cops and overzealous racist attorneys, and people so quick to say, "Okay, we got you," bam, boom, this is what happens. But now she's getting a dose of her own medicine because now it's coming into light. And see, like I said before, this happens way often than not. 10 times out of 9, with the history in this country and African Americans and the judicial system and the legalities, this is no shock or surprise. So anyway, Linda Feinstein, she's getting a dose of her own reality of what she put out there. So how does that feel? Yeah. Better seek proper, treat people fairly because that's what happens. All right, that's my take about Linda Feinstein getting some karma for her horror the way she treated those five black boys in Central Park back in the day. Feel free to leave them comments, hit that subscribe when the bell rings in the video. I'm out. Peace.